Hi, and welcome to the Voice of KNX, the podcast about smart homes, meaningful applications, and the people who make them work. This show is built around three key elements that truly matter in our industry. Creating meaningful applications that makes people say, I want this. Delivering projects with clarity and structure. And communicating in a way that helps customers understand the value we bring. These are the human skill behind the technology, and they're often the one that gets overlooked, yet they're the ones that make the biggest difference. As installers and integrators, we naturally love technology. We enjoy new features, new products, new possibilities. But the reality is, IoT and Matter won't magically make smart homes mainstream. And with thousands of KNX devices already available, the issue is not the quantity. Even it is, yes, it's technical, but it works. That's not where the real challenge is. The real challenge is creating meaningful solutions. Application that goes beyond a fancy remote control. Homes designed around real life, not technology. And that's not only about configuration and programming. It's about understanding users' need. The psychological effect of lighting and heating, cooling, shading, security system that shapes comfort and peace of mind. These are not isolated systems. They are a piece of one complete living experience. And yet, too many projects still become one button, one lamp. We can do better, and we should do better. That's why I started this podcast. To talk openly about what works and what does not, to explore better applications, and to share knowledge. To learn how to communicate in a way that makes sense not just to us, but to the people who actually live in the homes we create. I'm Michael Benson, and I work with smart homes and KNX for over 20 years. I started out very confident, and I thought I knew what a smart home was. I quickly learned that people don't buy technology. They buy comfort, experience, and a wow effect, and peace of mind. When I talked about technical specs, I only attracted technical people. And that always ended up with the wife saying, no, we need the money for the kitchen. But then I learned to talk about meaningful applications. Everything changed. Later came the next challenge, running a project. That is documentation, keeping customers aligned, and making sure expectation stays realistic from start to finish. And yes, selling smart homes. For me as an engineer, that part didn't come naturally. I wanted to explain everything in detail. But too much information doesn't build trust, it creates confusion. I'm still learning, still improving, still adjusting. Most people in this industry face the same struggles. We just don't talk about them enough. And that's why I created this podcast, because these challenges aren't unique. This podcast is about what it truly takes to make smart home mainstream, and hopefully to spark a bit of change in our industry. The reality is, KNX isn't complicated, but the smart home business is. So, if you're passionate about smart homes, if you care about quality and user experience, if you want to grow technically and professionally, then you're in the right place. Subscribe to join the podcast, join the discussion, ask questions, share ideas, and learn from others. And if you like to join the conversation on the show, I love to hear from you. Because this podcast is not about me. It's about raising the standard together.